Welcome to Win Souls TV. It's your boy, Bright Evangelist, also known as Jeff. Now, the topic I want to talk about today has a lot to do with not waiting. Do not wait. So, I have a testimony to share. Basically, there was a time in my life where the Lord was grooming me to be an evangelist. He was perfecting my skills. He was developing me to be the individual that could literally go out and talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I learned a lot through that time period. I worked as a cashier, and so with working as a cashier, I got to see a lot of different temperaments. I got to see angry people, nice people, people that were burdened with a lot of things, and so he used that time period for me to learn to be able to speak to many different facets of many different types of people. So with that, there was a time period where I felt like my skills were really being perfected, And I remember I was driving back from church with my brother one day. I had gone to his church, and this is when I was still living in Atlanta. I live in Oklahoma now, but during this time period, I felt like I could really just talk to anybody. Even if you were on the toilet, I could talk to you, And I said, man, it's just so funny, man. I wasn't reading the word, and I don't know what prompted me to talk about this. I think it was the fact that we literally just left church. But I said, it's so funny. I can talk to anybody about anything, anywhere, anytime, except for Jesus. Except for Jesus. And I think it's simply because I wasn't living that. I had the title of being a Christian, but I wasn't actually moving in a relationship with God, And so I remember having that conversation, and we sat down and had a good conversation. But I had this amazing mentor, and he taught me. He honestly, I just went to him thinking that I was just learning how to fight. But in all actuality, I gained so much more from that, so much wisdom and understanding. And the Lord really used him to propel me forward. So basically, I met him when I was 18, and he would always say weird things in class. I didn't know back then that he was actually quoting the word. And I was wild during that time period. So I was just talking about women, basically. What abides in the heart will literally overflow and come out of your mouth. So that's all I was about back then, just talking about women and sex. And so naturally that came out of my mouth, and every time he would say this jokingly, but at the same time he was serious. He would say, man, boy, you need to get in that word. You need to get in that word. He'd say it just like that. And so years went by, and he just kept at it. I would always come to him for advice. I would always come to him for this, that, and the other. And it came time for me to move out here, and I actually started getting in the Word. And I actually have two testimonies on that with beginning my walk with God, and I put those in the cards. But so I actually started getting in the Word, and so I would call him and have questions about all of this stuff. And during that time period, he got cancer. He had colon cancer, and they went in and they checked his gallbladder first, and then that's where they found the colon cancer. And so he went through chemo, and it was gone for a little while. He was in remission, and then it came back. Well, during that time period, it was about a year, 2015. At the end of 2015, I went back for Christmas. And I had all these questions about the word because I was actually reading it, man. I had my own my Bible reading plan, and I was in there and I'm reading it and spending time with the Lord, and I'm so excited, but I had so many questions. And I went up to him and I said, he had this little tube in his chest, because that's how they administer the chemotherapy. So I'm over there, and I was so excited to ask him all of these questions, and he had a bookshelf, so he said, "Go get that book for me." And the book was called basically How to Read the Bible for All That It's Worth. And So I'm in there and I'm talking with him, and during this time period, it was really emotional. I was about to grab the book and go put it back, and he said, no, I want you to take that with you. And immediately I broke down and I started crying, because he never spoke like that. He was always so positive. He never, spoke like that. So he was always, positive. So when he said take that with you, it was like, take it with you, because I don't think I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna be here. He didn't say that, but that's basically what happened. And so I started crying, and I'm talking with him, and he gave me another book to kind of supplement the word. And that day he started talking different than he usually did. I mean, usually, like, he's really intense, he motivates you, he pushes you hard and stuff. But he said to me, I want to let you know that you were my best student. And I said, you had over 5,000 students, like, what made me one of the best? I said, you have people in here that are fighting a lot better than me. Like, what made me one of the better people? And he said you were one of the best students because you moved toward God. And then I realized that, yeah, he was teaching people how to fight, but that was just an avenue for him to teach the true thing, and that was the word. He was preaching the word the entire time. And then when he would blatantly preach the word or minister to people and stuff, they were running from it. He had over 5,000 students, but literally only 2 or 3 moved toward God out of 5,000. And he said, I want you to know that you were my best student. And that's when I realized that he was really just preaching the word. He was just using fighting as an avenue. And I'm about to leave with the books, and I'm praying. I'm about to pray over him, pray for healing. And he said to me, he kind of stopped me from prayer, because I think that the Lord already let him know that it was coming that time. And he said to me, he said, no, I want to pray over you. And I don't remember the entire prayer, but all I remember is that he said in the prayer, he asked for the Lord to bring me to the perfection of ministry. And I go home with the books, but before I leave, he said, just remember that the word is the foundation. The word is the source, but these books are just the supplements. It's like a bodybuilder lifting and eating right. But if you take supplements, yeah, it kind of helps a little bit more, but it's only a supplement to a diet and a workout plan that's already working well for you, you see. And so I spent one more day with him, and I'm flying back home, December 2015, and I was crying the entire way home. I knew in my spirit that he wasn't going to make it. And sure enough, January 1st of 2016, I got a phone call, and he passed away. And he used to always tell me, run the race, run the race, run the race, and don't stop, don't look back, don't let him steal your joy, don't let him do this, don't let him do that. And I prayed that day, and I said, Lord, I just ask that you allow him to hear me say this, but I told him and the Lord, I'm running this race. And so, moral of the story is, I literally, and after that point, I went buck wild ministering to people after that. I went buck wild. I wasn't intimidated by anybody. I don't care if you rejected me. I don't care if if you don't like what's coming out of my mouth because it's truth and truth is Jesus Christ, I didn't care anything after that. I didn't care whether you received it or not. Basically, I was there. I want you to receive it. Yes, but if you do, that is your own personal choice. But I'm not going to be afraid to share what I know to be true as God. There is no Allah. There is no Buddha. And if there is, they're demons. Okay? That's a very bold statement, but I'm going to be real. There is only one. And from that point on, I lost my mind ministering to people. Ministering to people all the time, because I'm telling you, you have to make your life, your words, your walk, your talk, every single thing about you it has to be centered around that word, and you have no choice but to talk about the word. Any place that you are in your life, wherever you are, you could turn a dinner meal into a lesson about God, simply because that is what abides in your heart. You'll find it so easy to talk about God because you spend so much time with Him. That's your favorite topic. And as Bruce Allen says, your magnificent obsession. But that's what he became after that. But what I'm saying in this message is, do not wait until somebody passes away, or don't put it off until tomorrow. Let's go right now. Let's go right now. We are all ministers, and we are all to minister. Don't wait until this, a fireball comes down from heaven to give you a sign to go and minister. He has already told us to do so in the Word. And I'm not being pushy, but I'm very passionate. So don't wait. Do not wait. Don't wait. The time is now. Latch on to your destiny. Latch on to your purpose. Learn who you are. Because the days are evil. And if we sit here and waste time playing video games, watching TV all the time, it's so many distractions, especially in America. Let's pick this up and let's get after it. Y'all be blessed. It's time to run the race.